Hey guys, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. If you're here for the first time, please remember to subscribe down below. So in this video, I decided that I was gonna do like my top picks for Netflix shows that you might like. So yeah, I've comprised a list of suggestions that I think would be very helpful if you're like stuck in a pickle and you can't find or figure out anything to watch. Enjoy. So the first category is sci-fi. Guys, sci-fi and fantasy is not the same thing. Are not the same thing. They're not. Like, they're completely different. Okay guys, on the list is Arrow. You have to watch Arrow, guys. Arrow is like one of my favorite shows. Sci-fi, TV action, and comic book superhero, so I consider those neighbors. Arrow's about this guy, Oliver Queen, who he grew up as this like playboy to a rich family. He goes on this boat trip with his dad, and the boat is going down, like it's sinking. They're about to die, but then Oliver lives and he makes it on an island called Lian, where he spends like 5 years on. When he comes back, he's like a completely different man. Like, he's not this like little like immature boy. He's kind of like someone who kind of wants to save people from injustice, and he figures out like secrets along the way of this like 5 years on the island that kind of changes him, especially like about his father. And his like number one mission is to save the city that he grew up with. So basically he's like undercover as this superhero called the Arrow, or the Green Arrow, but you know, in season 1 they're just gonna call him the Vigilante. He can't really tell anyone. He can't even tell like his own family, sisters, brothers, friends. And hand in hand with that is the Flash.
My name is Barry Allen, and I am the fastest man alive.
And a lot of people already watch the Flash, but if you don't, he's like a cop, like a forensics person who does like the dusting, and you know, scientist person. Yeah, he does that. Gosh, I don't know how to explain the Flash, man.
In his apartment, and he's got like chemicals weighing out, and basically there's this thing called the particle accelerator that's supposed to go off tonight, or that night, and basically it goes off, but it explodes. And the chemicals in his apartment that are open interfere with the particle accelerator, and
he gets like put in a coma for like 9 months, and he wakes up as the Flash, and he has the lightning speed. Guys, I should just really play the overview that's like, my name is Barry Allen. That would just explain everything. Basically, yeah, he's working at Star Labs, who, you know, rescued him and is running tests to see if he's okay. He's working with them as the Flash, and no one knows he's the Flash. He's kind of just keeping it secret. You have DC's Legends of Tomorrow, which is a show. Superheroes from Arrow and superheroes from Flash go aboard this like time traveling ship that is apparently from the future, because that's possible in the future, and they are trying to save events from the past and from the future. They're trying to prevent them from happening, so that basically the future does not get like obliterated by smoke and fire. Supergirl, I mean, I personally would rate Supergirl a 3 stars out of 5. But it also goes hand in hand with superhero, and it's also a show on CW. That's starring Melissa Benoist, who is Supergirl. And it's about like this girl, she's an alien, she's from Krypton, and Krypton, I guess, was being like destroyed, is under attack or whatever. Her parents send her to Earth to be safe. Yeah, it's sci-fi. Watch it definitely, because I feel like it illustrates some ideas of feminism. You know, basically, you know, female superhero. That's the first. Stranger Things. And I know everyone has watched this show, and there's 2 seasons currently out, and I know it might sound like overhyped and overrated. I thought it was overrated. I was in your place and then I watched it. I prefer season 1 over season 2 though. No, I'm not that person to just like every show and suggest it to everyone. You should most def watch the 100. I just finished watching it. Like I binged it throughout my whole winter break, and yeah, all 4 seasons. Basically, it's about these teenagers, I should say, who like they turn 18 and they live in outer space because like centuries ago there was this radiation explosion mishap that happened on Earth, and then Earth was like unsafe, in an unsafe environment. They're sending like 100 teens down to Earth to see if it is survivable because they're running out of air on the ark and they want to know if they can go back to Earth and start living there. Like, is there life on the ground? And like, if so, like, who's here? Who survived it? What's going on? They encounter grounders and other things on Earth, and I don't know. It's sci-fi and fantasy. I think that's it on my sci-fi list. There are more, but I don't want to make this video too long. How was that? Teen.
My friends aren't far. In the back of my car, lay their bodies.
Atypical. I love Atypical. It's so interesting. It's rated TV mature. There's only 1 season, but I do really like it. I think there's like 12 or 13 episodes. It's very different and interesting. It's also a Netflix original, so there's your cup of tea. It's about this autistic kid who's kind of like learning how to handle, or I shouldn't say handle, but learning what life is like. It's a really good show. Also, if you want, this can also fall under the comedies or drama comedy kind of category, so I would never recommend Riverdale. So also for teen movies, Bring It On. I think they just put it on, but basically it's a movie about a cheerleading squad. If you don't know what Bring It On is, like what are you doing with your life? Glee has 6 seasons. The 6th season doesn't count though because it was trash, but 1 to let's say 4 was a really good ride, and then 5 was kind of good, and then 6 just went downhill. Very interesting. If you kind of like musicals and whatnot and all that, then I would suggest watching Glee. Life Unexpected is about a girl who is raised in foster care and then meets her parents for the first time. First she meets her dad, and then she meets her mom, and then first of all, her dad doesn't even know she exists. She just shows up to his door and's like, oh, I'm your daughter. The mom had her in high school, so they're trying to deal with that and start their family together. Also, Skins, TV mature, 2013. There's 7 volumes, but I'm pretty sure that means 7 seasons. But it's about teens too, so just watch it. I think it's very interesting. I like it. So, oh, and Freaks and Geeks. I think it only has 1 season. Yeah, 1 season. It was made in 1989, and I don't know, it's just a really good show, and it's from the 90s. Like, who doesn't like the 90s? So for fantasy, I already covered a couple from sci-fi that also went into fantasy. The Vampire Diaries. If you haven't seen The Vampire Diaries, what are you doing with your life? Like what are you doing? All 8 seasons of The Vampire Diaries is on Netflix. 2 vampire brothers who have lived on the earth for years. Apparently one's good and one's evil, but who's to say? They come back to like Mystic Falls because one brother or both brothers is smitten with this teenager named Elena. What's her name? What's her last name? There's a witch, there's vampires, humans become vampires, there's like sirens and underwater stuff. Recommend. And then I also recommend the spin-off, the original vampire family that kind of protruded, or what is protruded a word? Kind of like intruded the Vampire Diaries in like season 2? No, season 3. Yeah, it was season 2 and 3. Yeah. I feel like people like them so much because they're honestly the OGs. They're so lit. Like, they were so lit. So I feel like they, CW and the creators are like, oh, we need to give them their own show. Charmed! Oh my gosh, guys. Charmed is from the 90s and continued all the way until 2005. But there's, 8 seasons? It's so good. 3 sisters who were born into this like charmed family, because they like have like this great power in thirds to like defeat like demons and bad guys from the from hell, like from yeah. They have to live their ordinary lives while trying to balance like witchcraft and like battling demons. Also, no one really knows that they're witches, so you know, you have to keep that secret. You should watch H2O, Just Add Water. I've got a special power. I mean, it has 3 seasons. It's TV PG. You can watch it if you're 10 years old, 8 years old, 27 years old. It's just like if you're looking for like more young adult, maybe it's not the show for you. But 3 girls who go swimming at this island called Mako Island, and they go at night while it's a full moon, I believe. This like legend, I think, of like them becoming mermaids becomes true. Every time they touch water, they turn into mermaids, so they have to avoid water regular life with trying to hide the secret that they're mermaids. Also, for the fantasy show Supernatural, everyone watches Supernatural. Really good. It's about 2 brothers, Sam and Dean. They're originally like ghost hunters, and their dad ghost hunter. They like battle ghosts and try to kill them, and like, I mean, how do you kill a ghost? At first it starts out as ghosts, but then they realize that there are more things out there than ghosts. There's like vampires, there's demons, there's leviathans. I mean, there's many things like in the depths of hell. They have an angel on their side, like literally an angel named Castiel. They work with God, they work with Lucifer, they work with the King of Hell, Crowley, which isn't the same person as Lucifer, so it's like, what? TV 14, and there's 12 freaking seasons. It was going on since what, 2005? It's 12 seasons, guys. That's amazing. Comedy. I've been wanting to do this for so long. Oh my gosh, I'm tired. Number 1, Baby Daddy.
It's amazing how the unexpected can take your life and change directions.
It was on ABC Family / Freeform. All 6 seasons on Netflix because it's complete now, so they have all of them. This guy, so basically he has a kid. At first he's gonna give it up for adoption because he's like, I can't take care of a kid, but then he gets attached to it and he realizes like, oh, I want to keep it. I want to learn how to be a dad. I want to be responsible because, you know, he's like a player or whatever, and he's kind of like an asshole, so he's trying to learn how to be a good dad, a good parent. You can't do a comedy section without Friends. Friends is hilarious. There's 10 seasons, guys. It's rated TV 14 and it ended in 2003. This show is so good. It's so funny. Like, it deserves the fame it has, if that makes sense. Like, it's about 6 friends in New York who live in like apartments. What is the plot to Friends? There's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of random episodes. There's not really like a continuous plot, but at the same time there is. I don't know, it's just funny. Okay, just watch. Oh my gosh. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is hilarious. It's with Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson, so you obviously have to watch. I mean, it was made in 2003 and it's a movie, not a show. unfortunately. But it's an hour and 55 minutes. Basically, it's about this girl who works for a blog, and then this guy who makes a bet with his like business co-workers or whatever. And this girl makes a bet, write this article in her magazine thing where it's like how to lose a guy in 10 days, and then he's trying to do how to get a girl in 10 days, I think. So I think they were both trying to do the opposite thing. So it was kind of funny to see how their relationship unfolded. Yes. Oh, That 70s Show. Haven't really gotten around to watching a lot of it, but it's a very funny comedy if you haven't watched it already. It's about like teenagers living their lives in the 70s, you know, like bell bottoms, pot smoking, and not so classic rock, you know, it's groovy. So for crime, Quantico. Quantico's good. I only watched season 1, but I think they have more seasons on Netflix now, but I really love season 1, so you can watch it at Special Victims Unit. I love it. I like the older episodes with Samuel? No, what's his name? Daniel? No. So Sherlock's also really good, but it's just really long. One episode is like 2 hours or an hour and a half. I think that's it though, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this top picks for Netflix. My phone's about to die, so thank you, and like, subscribe to become a weirdo, and turn my post notifications on, and all that just jazz. And I love you, and I'll see you later.